This hair butter contains everything that your hair needs to grow. Everything except water. Alright guys, so in today's video I'm going to show you how to make this amazing hair growth butter using 6 or more than 6 powerful herbs. Now if you're interested, please let's get started. The first herb is clove. Okay guys, so I'm going to be measuring 1 tablespoon of my clove. The second herb that I'm going to be introducing is rosemary. Now, rosemary is very essential when it comes to stimulating hair growth. I'm also going to be measuring 1 tablespoon. And if you're looking for a way to thicken your hair, fenugreek is one herb that you should not joke with. I also measured 1 tablespoon of fenugreek seed. Now, the last but not the least is my black seed. I measured 1 tablespoon as well. Now, after measuring everything, I'm going to put it in a blender to crush it just a little bit. And once I finish crushing the herbs in seed form, I'm then going to introduce the powdered herbs, so stick around, okay? This is what it looks like after I finish crushing it. I noticed that there is still some seed, like a lot of the seed are still in there, especially the fenugreek seed. So I'm going to transfer it back into the blender and crush it again the second time. And this time around, I think I got the consistency that I'm looking for. Remember, I'm not trying to turn it into powder. However, I needed it to look at least a little powdery. So you can compare the before and after and see that the second time it looks much more better. Now to proceed with the powdered herbs, the first powdered herb I'm going to be adding is my neem powder, and I added 1 tablespoon, followed by my moringa powder. Also, I'm going to be adding moringa powder 1 tablespoon. In fact, all the herbs and powdered herbs that I added in this butter is 1 tablespoons each. The last is my hibiscus powder. Okay, I added 1 tablespoon as well. Now all these powders were made by me, so you can as well turn your leaves into powder at home or buy them in powder form, anyhow you want to do it. Now the next part of this butter is where I introduce the actual butter, which is my shea butter. Guys, this is where this part I actually did not measure it. I'm so sorry. I just used my eyes to, guess the quantity that I was looking for. Another thing that I added to my butter is beeswax, and I'm going to be telling you the reason why I added it later on in the video. So guys, now I'm going to be adding my oil. I used coconut and olive oil, and for my coconut oil I added 60 ml, and for the olive oil I used just 30 ml. The cup that I'm using to measure the oils is what, 30 ml. So I added 2 cups of my coconut oil, which makes it 60 ml. So now that I'm done measuring all my herbs and oils / butter, I'm going to go ahead and dissolve it. While dissolving it, I went ahead to add 2 more tablespoons of beeswax. Remember that I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm adding beeswax later on, so keep on watching. Okay guys, so after dissolving it completely, I'm going to now go ahead to sieve it. This part is important, essentially because we are using powdered herbs. It's very necessary that you sieve it. Even after passing it through these double sieves, later on you will still realize, you will still notice that the powder kind of formed at the bottom of my plate, but I didn't mind. I didn't mind at all. Okay. So guys, one important tips is to sieve this butter while it is still hot to avoid it solidifying, especially because we added beeswax to this butter. Okay, if you don't sieve it while it is hot, before you know it, it's actually going to solidify. And yes, it can be really painful. However, it is necessary for us to do this process. Hence, we end up putting it back on the fire to dissolve it, and then other process. So this is what I was telling you. The powder still settled on the bottom of my plate. However, I don't mind. Okay, yeah, so now I'm going to cover it and I'm going to leave it in the freezer to solidify for a while. I didn't actually count how many hours I left it there. And after it's solidified, this is exactly what it looks like. Now we are going to be whipping it. Okay, so while whipping, I like to begin whipping with the medium speed, just because the butter is still very strong. My blender speed is 1 to 3. I like to start with number 2 with speed number 2. However, you can choose to start with speed number 1 or speed number 3, which is the highest. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you get your desired result at the end of the day. Okay, so yeah, I start with second speed and then I increase it as I go or reduce it depending on the level where I am at. Okay, all right, now let me tell you guys the reason why I added beeswax to this butter. So I've been trying to master the act of butter making, and recently, I don't even know why, but I would say recently, but not so recently, whenever I make my butter, no matter the weather, it's always turned liquid, especially when I use lots of herbs such as the one that I am making today. The times when I get my butter not to turn liquid apart from the hot season is if I use like a very little quantity of oil and a whole lot of butter, then I'll get it to like remain in the solid form. I don't know if it's the type of butter that I am getting, but it has been making me to stay away from making butter until I watched a video from one of our natural hair sisters. I will leave her name on the screen, and in that video she made her butter and she added beeswax to it, and I thought, oh, this is actually a beautiful way to get my butter to be the consistency that I want it to be. Now when I added that first 1 tablespoon, I noticed that the 1 tablespoon might not be able to hold the butter if I should continue with that quantity. So while I was melting it using the double boiling method, I went ahead and added 2 more tablespoons so that I don't take chances. And don't worry about the beeswax, it's actually not going to affect you negatively. In fact, the result that you're going to be getting will outweigh whatever danger that you might be thinking that beeswax is going to give. Beeswax is actually a very good emollient in the sense that it helps to seal your hair much more better than any other thing. And beeswax is actually one of the primary things that they use to make this Vaseline that we apply on our body, and even the hair grease that we buy in the stores. So guys, I finished whipping my butter and this is what it looks like. I really try to whip it as much as I can to see if the color is going to get lighter, but this is the color that I got at the end of the day, and I think this color is really perfect. Okay, and yeah, this is how beautiful the butter looks. Wait until you actually try it on your hair. I believe you're going to love it. And if you're a stay-at-home mom who is looking for a side hustle to try, you can actually try this butter, use it for a while and see how it works on your hair, and you can package it and sell it to your neighbors who is looking for a way to grow out or retain moisture. Okay, because moisture retention is equals to length retention. All right guys, so now I'm going to show you how I use it on my hair. You could see how dry and brittle my hair was looking. I had already washed my hair a few days ago, but I didn't have the chance to moisturize my hair. So I'm going to now demonstrate how I use this butter on my hair. Now there are 2 things that I would advise you do before using this butter. Number 1, remember to work in sections. It will help you to attend to all of your hair strands without missing any strand. Number 2, Please don't apply this butter on a dry hair. Make sure that you are using a form of moisture. You can actually just damp your hair with plain water before applying this butter. You can choose to infuse your water with herbs to get the maximum benefit. You can also choose to use aloe vera juice, just as I am doing in this video. Now, if you are the type that does not like to put water on your hair, there are people who don't like to put water on their hair, you can go ahead and apply a light leave-in conditioner first and then use this butter to seal your hair. And if you do this process properly, I promise you, your hair is going to stay moisturized for as long as possible. Okay, remember that once you're done, you're supposed to put your hair in a protective style, and if you don't have the chance to put your hair in a protective style immediately, you can go ahead and twist or braid your hair so that way you retain much more moisture. Okay, alright guys, so this is what my hair was looking like after I finished moisturizing my hair. So my loves, I created an amazing leave-in conditioner, and that was what I used on this second half of my hair, and I'm excited to share that video with you all. So if you're not subscribed to my channel yet and you want to see how I made this amazing moisturizer that I'm talking about, then you have to hit the subscribe button, and don't just stop there. Press the notification bell so that when I upload that video, you will get notified. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel so that you will stay connected. Okay, and thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Favor. I hope that you learned one or two things from this video. If you did, please let me know in the comment section. And until I come your way next time, bye bye.